Hi, Happy New Year. I have some exciting updates to share that I think you'll want to hear about. But first, I just want to say that no matter what the future holds, God holds the future. I'm reminded of a passage in Isaiah 43 that says, "Do not remember the former things or consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing." We don't have to cling to the past nor let the past define us. I know that changes can be uncomfortable and hard. But if we want to see exciting new things, we have to be willing to let go of the past and be open to change. I know that 2024 will be have a lot of new changes, and it may not always be easy, but we know that God walks with us through it all. I want to share with you some updates that you may be interested in. But first of all, I know that there's going to be, because there's a lot of events going on in January, I want to share with you this calendar via our link or QR code that you can add to your Google Calendar or your iPhone. I would encourage you to do that so that you don't forget anything or miss out on any events. Now, the first events that we're going to have to do with prayer. Our first event is that we're going to be joining with the World Church for 10 days, starting on January 10 through January 20th. And we want to encourage you to join us because we'll be praying together. And I really enjoyed the last time because we really came together and had a sense of community. And you can join us each night for those 10 days at 8 p.m. on our Zoom link so we can join together online. Now, the next thing is that after that is over, we will have our regularly scheduled prayer meetings. Our English meetings will be on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, and the Chinese speaking group will have Bible study and prayer on Friday nights starting at 7:30. Now, there may be other events that I don't know about or I'm not going to be able to share with you because they are part of our small groups. And there are 3 small groups in our church, at least, that you can join. And we want to encourage you to participate in one if you haven't already. And we also want to remind all of our care groups to continue their activities throughout the month. There are actually, as I mentioned, 3 small groups, and those are the Golden Agers, the Harmony Group, and the International Group. We're also trying to develop the Chinese speaking group, and that's going to bring me to the next topic, which is our social activities. Because we're going to be using social activities throughout January to help build up the Chinese care group and build relationships with people. So let me just share with you a few of those events. The first one is that on January 20th, we're going to have a movie night, a watch party, where we're going to watch The Chosen, but in Chinese for people who speak Chinese. And that's going to be after our last prayer meeting at 9 p.m. on Saturday night. That's January 20th. Another event that we're going to have is the following week, hopefully January 27th. We'll have a game night at 6 p.m. And again, that's going to be for our Chinese speakers as well. Now, for everybody, the next day on January 28th, we're going to have the first annual volunteer appreciation banquet. So if you're a volunteer, if you've helped out our church this past year, please come and join us so that we can appreciate you. We're going to have some Indian food, hopefully from the Jewel of India, and we want to take that time to just express our appreciation for your help with our church this past year. Our next event is, again, a social activity designed to reach out to Chinese people in the community, and that's going to be on February 3rd, Sunday, February 3rd. We're going to have a baking class led by the social committee and Dr. Ko. We're going to teach Chinese people how those who don't already know, we'll be having a baking class, and we'll talk about how to make Chinese New Year pineapple tarts. And again, this is just an opportunity to build relationships with people and invite them to other events like the next week, which is our Chinese New Year party or Lunar New Year party. That's going to be on Sunday, February 11th. Right now, we're planning on having it at a restaurant. And then hopefully we'll have some games, whether it's before or after, and we'll confirm some more details with you later as the month goes. But please RSVP. Let us know if you would like to join because we need to get a head count for reservations. Let us know soon. Another thing you should know about is that we're trying to make our worship service a little more smoother and lively. And while I enjoy it, I always appreciate the service of our translators who've greatly done a lot for our church over the years. But we also know that translation sometimes can be one of the challenges to keeping people interested in our church. So one of the things we're hoping to do is using software through artificial intelligence to generate real-time, live, simultaneous translation at the same time. We will still need human translators always on standby to help us just in case we get stuck or there's technical problems or, for whatever reason, we need to have someone on standby. But we're hoping that at least the software might help us make things a lot smoother. So we're going to try it out. We haven't committed yet, but starting on January 13, we're hoping to test it. So please bring your smartphones and your headphones just so we can try it out. The following weeks, on January 20 and 27, we will actually rely mostly on the software and only have the human translators on standby as needed. The first week on January 13, we will still do the back and forth translation, but the following weeks we will try to use it exclusively and see how it goes. Now at our town hall meeting, which is scheduled for January 27th, we will talk about this and we will decide together if this is something we want to continue to do. Another thing I just want to let you know about is our Psalms and Psychology series has already started. And that is basically our Sabbath school, but with a mental health twist. We're connecting faith and mental health because, and Psalms is a great way to do that. So, and just so you know, we're really excited and privileged to be having the very author of this series, Dr. Dragoslava Santrak, to come and co-teach with me on January 27th. The whole series is, as you know, two teachers where we have a conversation that's recorded, and then that way we can share it online. So I'm inviting her to join so we can have a conversation together. And obviously I have a lot to learn from her because she's got so much knowledge on the subject. And so I'm looking forward to having a good conversation with her. But I would like to encourage all of us to please come show your support because we're very privileged to have her teach for us. Now, in addition to that, we have 5 weeks of guest speakers lined up this month. And I want to encourage you to please come and support them. We have workshops for your benefit that we want to give you training with. The first person is Dr. Chanmin Chung. He's a missiologist who spent 10 years in the Middle East. And now he's a senior director at Hope Channel. And he's offered to provide for us an afternoon seminar on missionary thinking. We really want all of our church members to get the training needed because my goal is that we will train. We want to be a missionary movement, and I want to train all of our church members to know how to think like a missionary. And so he will be offering some training on that. So I really want to encourage you to please come and support this event and get the training on this. In the following week, we will also have Pastor Gregory Whitsett, who is also going to talk about the same thing. He and his wife, Amy, as you know, served in Laos for 10 years for Adventist Frontier Missions. And then Greg and Amy were also associate directors for the Global Mission Center for East Asian Religions. Now I believe he's the planning director for the Office of Adventist Missions. Anyway, we are also greatly privileged to have him come and offer his a training to help us learn how to be missionaries, reaching out to the communities around us. And so he will be offering an afternoon seminar. And again, I really want to encourage you to please come and support this event and get the training. So there'll be a sermon, potluck, and then an afternoon seminar. On January 27th, we will also have a conference blitz. As you know, the Potomac Conference sends people out every once in a while, officers. And so on January 27th, we're going to be blessed to have Janet Armstrong, who's an associate for the education department of the Potomac Conference, and she will also be coming to join us that day. And then on February 3rd, we will have Pastor Anil Barbe, who is the Associate Director of the Stewardship Ministries Department of the Worldwide Church. And he's going to be coming on February 3rd and talking about stewardship for us. Anyway, we have some important meetings coming up that you should know about. I really want you to pay attention to this. If some of them may be pertaining to you, some of them may not. The first thing is for those who are on the Finance Committee, we will have a Finance Committee meeting on January 11th. We have some important changes we need to talk about. That'll be at 7 o'clock prior to our prayer meeting. This is very important. We have some things we need to take care of. Then for those officers who are on the church board, we will have a church board meeting on Sunday, January 14th. That's a reminder, please make sure to come, okay? We're going to start early at 10 a.m. because we have a lot of things that are important to talk about. But for everybody, whether you're an officer or not, please come to our town hall business meeting on January 27th. We actually have a lot of things to talk about. We need to talk about whether we want to use that translation software. We will talk about brand messaging, strategy, our budget, how we're going to handle finances going forward. There's a lot of important key strategy initiatives, marketing subjects we need to talk about. And we really want to be on the same page as a church as we go forward. And we want your participation, your voice to contribute to the collective decision making. So please come on January 27th. Anyway, if that was a lot to keep track of, I want to remind you, please, add this calendar to your calendar, your Google Calendar, your iPhone calendar, and you can use that QR code or the link to go and add it. That's an iCal format. Just make sure you add it to your calendar. So that way you don't forget any events. And we are 1 year closer to the return of Christ. And we want to share the good news with the world around us. And we hope that all these events will help us accomplish that mission more effectively and faster. Thank you so much for join with us in that mission as we seek to build up God's kingdom in this world. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon.